A momentous day in Rhode Island as the state's newest governor is sworn into office. Good evening, I'm Mike Montecalvo.
And I'm Shannon Heggie. Dan McKee is now the state's 76th leader. He took the oath of office earlier this evening at the State House. You saw it live on 12 News at 6:30 over on Fox Providence.
The transition comes after Governor Raimondo was officially confirmed by the Senate to be the next U.S. Commerce Secretary this afternoon. She will officially be sworn in tomorrow night by Vice President Kamala Harris.
We have team coverage for you tonight. 12 News reporter Rob Nesbitt is live at the State House with what the McKee administration's priorities are for day one.
But first, let's get to Kim Kalunian with how this historic day unfolded. Kim?
Well, Mike and Shannon, this is the moment that Rhode Islanders have been asking about for weeks. When will Dan McKee officially become governor? Well, tonight around 6:45, we got our answer.
Thank you. I do.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Secretary. Thank you very much.
In a brief private swearing-in ceremony, Lieutenant Governor Dan McKee ascends to the state's top job, becoming Rhode Island's newest governor.
Thank you.
It was the end of an eventful day.
Hey, I'm glad we're going to do the swearing-in later today inside.
One that saw him casting his ballot in the state's special election for multiple bond initiatives, making a brief cameo at his weekly small business Facebook Live.
Hey, thanks for everybody tuning in.
And getting his first COVID-19 shot.
Good day, right?
While all of this was unfolding in Providence,
and the nomination is confirmed.
Down in D.C., the Senate voting 84-15 to confirm former Governor Raimondo as the nation's newest Commerce Secretary.
I know she's the right choice. I urge my colleagues to support her nomination.
The vote comes nearly 2 months after President Joe Biden nominated the Smithfield native to lead the Commerce Department back in early January. Her confirmation was delayed by former President Donald Trump's second impeachment trial and pushback from Senate Republicans like Ted Cruz of Texas, who placed a hold on her nomination.
I will be voting against the confirmation of Governor Raimondo, and I encourage my colleagues to do the same.
Aye.
Despite his opposition, 30 Republican senators, including Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, joined the Democratic caucus to support her. About 3.5 hours after that Senate vote, Raimondo sent her letter of resignation to McKee, saying in part, quote, "Serving as governor these past 6 years has been the honor of my lifetime." And then she addressed him directly, saying, "I have the utmost confidence in you. You are a proud Rhode Islander, a dedicated public servant, an experienced executive, and a good man." Raimondo left Rhode Island for D.C. this morning, and tonight the White House says she will be formally sworn in by Vice President Kamala Harris tomorrow at 6 p.m. Live in studio, I'm Kim Kalunian, 12 News.
Kim, thank you. Governor McKee says he plans on making his own run for governor in the next election.
Well, what can we expect during his first few days in this current term? 12 News reporter Rob Nesbitt is live outside the State House with Governor McKee's first plan of action. Rob?
Mike, Governor McKee did not shed much light on what his first days as governor will be like during his swearing-in ceremony, but when he left the State House behind me tonight, he told reporters that vaccine will be priority. Governor McKee has been critical of Rhode Island's COVID response in the past. The 69-year-old Democrat knows that the pandemic will require much of his focus, agreeing with President Biden that teachers should be prioritized with getting their shots.
I just had a few meetings upstairs on vaccination and getting the teachers vaccinated.
A stance Rhode Island's new governor announced back in January during his first solo press conference.
We certainly got to raise the priority level for teachers and school personnel.
The former mayor of Cumberland is known for his strong advocacy of city government in support of charter schools. Governor McKee will need to submit a budget proposal to the General Assembly by March 11th. The challenge, close a deficit estimated at roughly $329 million, though President Biden's coronavirus relief bill could cover that if passed as written. After just a few hours on the job, McKee seemed optimistic about the road ahead.
A great opportunity to help the people of Rhode Island, and I'm going to do my best.
Governor McKee says he plans on finishing Secretary Raimondo's current 22-month term before making his own run for a full 4-year term as governor in 2022. A public inauguration ceremony will be held for Governor McKee here at the State House Sunday at noon. Reporting live in Providence, I'm Rob Nesbitt, 12 News.
Rob, thank you. We continue hearing reaction to today's confirmation. In a joint statement, Senate President Dominic Ruggiero and House Speaker Joe Cicarci congratulating Secretary Raimondo, saying in part, Raimondo led our state to record employment levels before the pandemic hit, and she provided steady, compassionate leadership over this past, most difficult year. On behalf of the General Assembly, we wish her and her family all of the very best. as she takes on a very important role. The pair also congratulated Governor McKee on his new position and said they look forward to working in collaboration with him.
And Senator Jack Reed issuing a statement saying in part, quote, "I congratulate Secretary Raimondo. She will lead with integrity and play a critical role overseeing a wide array of key initiatives essential to our nation's future, from helping U.S. manufacturers compete to investing in economic development to managing our ocean resources."